all these unnecessary brawls, and for them to have that Viper just to burn so much time and potentially secure a lurk threat, it could actually throw Sharper off rhythm, because Sharper, if you remember correctly too, they're a little on the faster side.
Oh yeah. I mean, a lot of the Thai teams love to play speed, right? We're seeing a lot of teams just really go for, again, that's the value you get from like a double initiator. You know, you get so much space for your duelist to be able to just rush forward. Kadum potentially could be getting so much support from that. You have LBY with the flashes, you have QQ with the paranoia, as well as Sirapop to clear out backside. That's exactly what's happening, but the same could be said about Prodigy right now, just sliding forward, so much space taken away, full control of Rumble.
It does look like Sharper already tasked to rotate in. It's already a bit of a mess here, Tosh, and Team Secret, they have a leg up.
There's so many trades happening all around the map right now. NBG takes one down. The same could be said about QQ. Regardless of all that noise, it's been a 1-for-1 trade. Vinesse, already so very low, but he's not done yet. Shoots Sirapop's head down, making it competitive. In fact, Team Secret managed to get that plant. LBY finds one to his name, but still, the work's not done. Trades all around, but Kadoob here, the big hitter, gonna be able to just clear out so many members. QQ's timing is good here as Sharper. This is a great retake.
It is a great retake, and Sharper, you know, despite having a bit of a scramble on that retake, the recovery was insane. I like that Secret sure was so confident in that initial hit, but I thought with the Viper in hand, they tried to double down on this post plant, but they didn't go for the molly play. I think they went for like a 5 ghost purchase. So maybe they're trying to see how hot Sharper is when it comes to the mechanics. I mean, typically speaking, when it comes to the pistol round, it can be incredibly indicative of how warmed up you are. But a really interesting force buy into, I would say, an already expensive comp to run.
Well, this off angle from QQ immediately gets taken out here by Prodigy, but Niffy makes it at least equalized, very least to find Secret in the backside as well. Now, you really want to find value from Team Secret with this force buy. I think another team that does this as well is Global Esports, but they always force these buys as well. With Vinesse rushing forward here quickly to find Sirapop, who only has a ghost in hand. Now, they've just been taking turns taking out his space as well. Finds 4-3. Can't math, clearly, as Vinesse shuts him down. At the end of the day as well, this force buy will not find dividends, as Sharper Esports gonna walk away with 2 guns and a rifle still in their hands.
I mean, I get it. We always talk about how it's worse to lose the second round than it is to lose pistol. But as I prefaced earlier, Team Secret is running a really expensive comp. Viper isn't necessarily the most economic agent to have. And if you're using her as potentially one of the cornerstones to your strats, you're somewhat gimping yourself this early on when you're forcing a lot of things, when you're trying to go for all these hard contact plays. But again, let's give TS a little bit of time to cook. Maybe they just need a bit more data to bounce off of.
They do really take their time here. Ooh, QQ God. Strafe just gives so much dividends, takes down Nizzy here. Nice one-way has been set up at the very least. And you can tell that Sharper Esports does not want to give up space to Mount. They take the fight, they already know the paranoia is coming, but Kadum just sidesteps it. Relay Ball comes out and tries to find one, does that, in fact, gets 2. A Secret Prodigy does fall, with LBY providing so much support on the other side of that mount area. NBG left alone here. We've seen his sharpshooting. Man can shoot. Man is an aimer. But in a situation where everyone has control of that area as well, the missiles come out. They're going to do a double swing forward, and it's a flawless 3rd round for Sharper Esports as well.
Oh, that's the price to pay when you force up on the 2nd round here. Now, Team Secret Academy, they have to remember this is supposedly their more favorite side, especially on Lotus, but this has been pretty well received by Sharper too. They understand that maybe Team Secret are gonna avoid a lot of these more, I guess, methodical approaches when their weapons are a little low. But first gun round on the board here. Sharper does have enough weapons to fight back, especially with these Guardians. I always talk about the scalability of these weapons, and maybe we'll just see that come to fruition. Team Secret now take that slower approach that we were fully expecting.
And the same could be said about Sharper Esports. This time around, they're not contending too aggressively for Mount, for Rumble. In fact, they're just trying to wait and see. The wait and see approach can work very well if they just react to how exactly Team Secret play. The 0 point comes out first here, and Kadum waiting to see whether or not he's going to take that first contact.
Ooh. Prodigy's walking up. Does he know Kadum's here?
He knew. Check that corner to perfection. Wall bang Kadum too. That's in fact, it's a headshot as well. But quick trades all around his LBY to find two. Somehow in those corners. Sirapov as well. Team Secret, they try to shoot back at the very least. And despite everything, it's a 2v2.
Oh dear. This is already expensive on TS side, but they do have a poison orb and a pair of flashes here. Nizzy could make the call to potentially isolate these rotating players. They definitely heard that weapon drop with Sirafop basically announcing his presence on the left side of A here.
Preparing that pop flash right now. Sharper coming in from two different areas. The only player that's been suppressed right now is Niffy. Swaps up to the weapon here. All eyes onto the site itself, coming from two different areas. Timing could be insane here.
Oh my gosh.
Gonna find one corner to perfection. The flash comes out as well alongside. Not able to follow up at the very least, but these crossfires are disgusting coming forward from Sharper. Another round on the board. Team Secret cannot answer back at all.
It's a cold spell for Team Secret. Have to force themselves on yet another eco round. If anything, they might just go for a full-on save. If my math is adding up, it has failed me in the last 30 minutes repeatedly. They do actually have enough for one more gun round, but I think the most apparent problem here is their follow-through. Sure, they're getting a lot of these first kills and finding their way onto the site, but I'm not entirely sure why their staying power isn't there. You would kind of expect them to play off the poison orb and the Viper Molly, but it just hasn't really showed itself just yet.
Oh no! QQ got punished for going too aggressively, but the rest of Sharper Esports are ready to fight back here. Aggressively taking out space, playing out of the walls. Nice crossfire with LBY and his teammate means that the other members of Team Secret are not able to cross forward as well. Rolling Thunder used as well to push up forward, and Kadum takes full advantage of the situation. But NDG is there to trade back, and Sakura still holding down the line. The rest of Sharper, for the first time this map, on the back foot. Shadow set down here from Sakura. Perhaps just give them a bit of space to really rethink how they want to play this.
This is a great read by Sharper too. It seems that they could even scout out more information with this drone, and that's exactly what happens here. Team Secret, they still have the option to maybe rotate back with 50 seconds as long as they don't give a stray 1v1 to Niffy. They don't really know how each other are situated here, but yet another scan is coming through, Tosh.
Niffy gets spotted out, quickly repositions himself. Not shy to make his presence known here. The cam finds nothing, will be flushed out, but ready to receive all the members coming in from Team Secret Academy. Gets two. 1v1 still. NDG has a lot to play with. He has high clutch potential. We saw that in the last map. He has the annihilation to work with as well here. Playing in those corners. Strap up. Won't be able to find dividends from that because when your aim is that good, NDG will steal the round away. 3 to his name. And as NDG said the last time he played here, good job, NDG.
Does still have that Armageddon if they choose to play off of that, but it did look like it could have been so messy for Team Secret there, especially these pair of kills that Niffy got. I thought for sure that maybe they could have gotten the timing a little bit better. But hey, that is a round on the board for Team Secret. Unfortunately, though, Sharper has built themselves an impressive economy to allow themselves to get this operator, as well as the rest of the rifles to really support it. Vanessa's trying to get something out of this wall. He's been trying to condition these defenders to potentially overextend and maybe go for a more aggressive play towards Rebel, but we just haven't seen that. Team Secret again positioning themselves outside of C.
Nice high-low setup from Sharper Esports as well. Means that Niffy is quick to play off that information. Finds Prodigy. Bit of chip damage, yeah, but nothing enough to really move them backwards. Both teams getting so much information off each other, and both teams decided to step off.
Either Sharper's been doing such a great job of dodging that 0 point, or Secret just haven't been able to get maximum value out of it.
They'll get
now
one.
They're trying to...
Yeah,
they got
but
one,
they won't find,
yeah.
like the rest, right?
Yeah, I'm now really curious. Never mind. I was about to say, can Sirafop actually be the doorstop to this attack? But apparently not.
No, those little tiny micro angles are what both these teams are fully taking advantage of. With the pit down, it gives so much space for Team Secret Academy to just put that plant down. Fake TP forward. The rest of Sharper Esports are just waiting for the team to come up. They can really try and crunch from so many different angles, but at the end of the day, it's Vanessa's world. He dictates what's happening in here. And it's down to Sharper Esports to really figure out where he is. And I think KikiGod is guessing right now. Waiting for the right moment to push forward here. Rushes up, but Vanessa knows where exactly to look. Nizzy finds one more. Quickly toss weapons here. Blind sprays through those smokes, finds nothing. As Nivy will be also annihilated. No more bullets for the last member of Sharper Esports. And Team Secret Academy, they're slowly, brick by brick, chasing down Sharper Esports.
They're cutting down into this lead pretty convincingly, in my opinion. There is a lot more control, and with the ult economy still very much in favor of the Filipino squad here, they could snowball into this, but knowing Sharper, they can have impressive recovery protocol. But for now, they'll just have to work with a singular hero rifle on KikiGod, who's been pretty far forward. If we've been like paying attention to anything, he's been first point of contact for a lot of these fights. Maybe they want to pocket him just a little bit, especially with the lone rifle situated on him. But nah, Tash, he is confident with that Phantom. He's all alone on C.
A lot of silence here as Team Secret Academy trying to figure out where exactly they want to go and play here, because clearly C-Mount trying to get control of that didn't really work. Trying to get control of Rubble didn't really work either. But I don't want for Team Secret Academy to have that pit to be their win con right now.
I mean, playing Viper here, already such a big investment. There's nothing inherently wrong with it, but like we said earlier, this agent does need a lot of setup, and KikiGod has to fall back. Wonder if Secret commit.
They are going to move that. Look at how far in, checking every single corner, nook and cranny. Prodigy is cleared up for his team, which means that the rest of Sharper Esports can really take their time, trying to find out that last lurker here. Whew, Niffy, his timing was good there, managing to scrape away with his life. To try and just go in together as a team, break down this post-plant defense. Kadum waiting for the right time. Only a Bucky in hand. Could find dividends if they do come try close. Unfortunate for them. LB1 Kadum manages to find two, which means the overdrive is online. Suddenly everything that Team Secret Academy has built to come onto this situation falling apart right now just from one situation. But Viness, he tries it. Kadum defusing, gets it to half, finds two, but Kadum, he knows pros don't fake, and he rushes up forward, tries to take away the gun, and he does just that. That Bucky, I swear to God, I'm just seeing too many of these situations happen, and Bucky's perhaps are the way to go for the time being.
I think he actually got like a double with a one pump there, right?
Yes,
my
he
eyes
did.
Don't deceive me.
That is disgusting.
It is pretty disgusting, but Kadum really just giving his team that oomph. You know, sometimes you need that star player to get yourselves out of the mud, and it did look like Sharper were giving up a little bit of momentum to Secret, but here we are back in the lead and potentially in firm control. Team Secret's economy should have taken a heavy blow from that, and I do agree with you. They can't just rely on a singular ult to be their win condition. There has to be like a cycle and a rotation for this to be a reliable strategy. And I think for one, they have been sacrificing, or not really sacrificing, but they've been allowing their Viper player to be far forward, while on a good day, Viness could farm up those orbs and get the volume he needs to get that pip up and running. But I'm not really seeing the support flashes or the crossfires you need to allow Viness to bloom.
I completely agree with you. And I think as well, I think Quack brought up a very interesting point the last time we were on desk together, is the fact that for Viness, when he feels great, he just pops off. But once his confidence goes down, he starts to really shake here. And I'm hoping that today we're not going to see a repeat of that, because the last time they won, yeah, Viness was offline, but the rest of Team Secret Academy was able to cover for him. But granted, today, Sharper Esports is no, small team. They will take any advantage they have and fully change the trajectory of the situation. Just now, it was just one pump Bucky and 3 pickoffs from Kadum to be able to just completely change the trajectory of that round.
And my 2 cents is, if your controller needs to fight a lot to have, that confidence to really perform at the highest level, I feel like there should be a shift in mindset, because this isn't necessarily the role you would want to brawl with a lot, especially with such important utility. But that being said, Vanessa shouldn't feel like his value is going down if he's playing a little bit more passive. Because once again, as long as that wall is up, as long as he's alive, that's always going to be a threat on the side of Sharper. You know, always threatening to maybe find a pick on the rotation, maybe throw themselves on a offer them play and whatnot. But again, a well-read situation here by Sharper. They looking to be ready to receive on A.
0 Point finds nothing here for TSA Academy. Look at that, the cage, the cam, even the trips. Location revealed as well. QQ just praised the heck out of Prodigy and Seeker. And the same could be said about LBY here. Everyone just waiting for the members of Team Secret Academy to peek. And unfortunately for them, they're caught right now in the smokes in the midst of this race. Right now in the crossfires as well. NDG and Izzy, one each, but Kadoom catches them right at the right moment. Just backstab them completely and utterly pinched from two different sides.
Oh boy. Secret not necessarily having a traditional sentinel is already biting them in the behind. And I know it's been said over and over, you know, like, oh yeah, you do need a sentinel to be flank watch, so and so. Not really, but at the same time, it does make that job so much easier. You don't necessarily invest a person to be dedicated to that job.
Here.
And especially when you're playing, yeah. The passive info gather is so powerful. With them not really conditioning anybody with this Viper's wall, it's just compounding into a really shaky attacker side.
Flashback.
I'm out of here.
Flashback's about, and immediately as soon as the flash comes out, you can see the rest of Sharper Esports take a more passive approach, give up that space for a little while, and then refill that space once the util has passed. Now, in this situation, you have the cages up online as well, and Nifty is just waiting to play off any info he receives. He has support from QQ God here to set him up for the paranoia.
Well, we're still waiting for that combo to really get an ROI here. Sharper, they're also aware of this, so they position Nifty in an anti-flash bot, ready to receive if Thicker also throws his paranoia here. This should be it.
QQ God is just so not scared at all.
Oh
he just waits
gosh.
in the corner, gets two. Despite being flashed out of his hold, he goes down, and that place that he held immediately refilled by his teammate. Nice pop flash forward here from Nifty, but Nizzy cannot do anything to answer back. Didn't have the guns, didn't have the right weapons either. So another round in the bag for Sharper Esports is looking very dominating right now.
I like that he was suppressed, so it's like, I am suppressed, but I do not care.
Yeah, swinging. Look at this. Oh my god.
Again, we like to talk about how utility can be so powerful, but at the end of the day, it is a shooting game. When you click on somebody's head, they tend to disappear from the map, and that's exactly what Sharper have been doing. A lot of volume going their way here. Team Secret still shuffling their offensive sets, Tosh, but just really can't find one that fits, or at least this mold that Sharper is trying to put on them. Now Sharper, all they're really doing is just playing off their rotates really well. They know that there's already this passive threat of them going for that backstab because of that one round. And Team Secret, they're bogged down because of it. They now reposition Vanessa to be the doorstop towards B. But they could end up walking into the strong site yet again.
It's a good read coming in from Sharper Esports as well. And Kaduk immediately reacting off the information. Slides up, and you could really just love to see how they're playing here. Immediate reaction as well. Coming in from either, you know, the stealth drone, coming either from a trip. Big sprays all around here. Nifty was ready for that push as well. Another one tries to rush up forward here. Pop flash forward, tries to anti-flash it. But LBY is here to even just trade it and even it out. Sharper Esports, I have to say, their buddy system, whether it's not side by side, there's always someone there to trade. And Sharper Esports can read Team Secret like a book. I'm just curious here, Raph. You know, the way that how, you know, they approach C. You have Team Secret, they entry the same way over and over with the same util. And how they're doing, just reacting like you mentioned, because they know how to play off this setups.
That's exactly it. I mean, if you were to have that 0 point land deeper and maybe catch off the defenders, maybe playing from boxer deeper onto the side, then they could have the right to enforce this quote-unquote great white shark mentality where you don't really evolve, but it's just not working out.
With the overdrive online, the rest of Chopper Esports not really too eager to challenge, but that flash gives a little bit more space for Nizzy to completely find Kadum, dropping down, and Prodigy is still very much on a rampage here. Tries to find him in the end, Sirapop not finding the mark, finding Nizzy instead. Prodigy with 3, and you know the amount of damage that Prodigy can do with that overdrive. 1v2 right now, Prodigy the only player with the rifle. But they can play off each other, nice high-low setup here as well. I think he suspects that they're gonna both be a tree here. Could be just that. As he goes for that peak. 1, 2, 3, go. Not sure how he's gonna be playing this. We've seen a lot of miracle situations, but not this time. You could tell that Prodigy is starting to warm up.
Last round before the switch.
TS resurging here. I was thinking if Niffy had a cage, then maybe he could use it to isolate the fight, but again, with nothing in the bag here, it's already looking really dire. And as I was saying, right, that did Team Secret really have the right to enforce this brutish approach towards C? And even with Sharper adjusting well, sometimes you just need one player to pop off, and it had to be Prodigy, but we have to talk about how reliable that is, Tash. Not very.
No way. Oh man, Prodigy took up so much space already. Look how fast he moves. Anticipating the hard push coming from Kadum and just reacting off of that. A taste of Chopper Esports' own medicine means they have full control onto that A side this time around. But what is going to be happening in that post plant?
I was about to say that when you're relying on one player to pop off, it's not the most reliable thing, but hey, I've been proven wrong.
Nizzy, quick to find Niffy's head here. Try and clear out those corners with that aftershock, and the rest of Team Secret Academy just ready, just move to the side, avoiding all the util. And Vanessa as well, his sprays are really scary. You know exactly where to look here, marking where Sirapop is going to be. Tries to play these micro angles to a T, but not able to avoid the 0 point. Makes his presence known, but Vanessa this time, he's feeling good. I think today, especially this map, he's looking a little bit more top form.
Switching sides.
That is true. Again, he's been fronting a lot of these fights, and you know, QQ God has been doing the same. Duelists have not been slouches either, but this is not necessarily the slow and controlled at. It's been a brawl and a half for both these teams.
Team Secret Academy is going aggressive this time. They throw out the util, but that's not where Chopper Esports wants to go. They're just saying, okay, if you want to push down A, well, let's just go into B here. And they guessed right. Completely empty, fully in their control right now. The only one holding down that fortress is just one player. But Nizzy watches the flag this time, knows where Sirapop is going to be, punishes him for it. The same could be said about NDG here. Kadum rendered so low right now. So 1v1, it's Kadum quick to reposition here. We're seeing a lot of 1v1s throughout the entirety of this map as Viness loses his. Stun, no place to move or go. Aftershock just stopped them from coming inside. Kicking on an LBY, one each right now. Leaving NDG all of his lonesome. Alongside Nizzy.
Oh boy.
Hard to play this retake game in a 2v1. Timing on his side for a little bit longer. No clue where to look as well. Goes for tap one more time, but the rest of Sharper Esports not buying it. He is scanned. Where to move, where to go. He's just delaying the inevitable at this point here. Sharper, they go to 9, taking another pistol.
This is a really fast-paced match now, considering that I was expecting Team Secret to play a little bit more methodical and careful, but hey, it's Lotus. Everybody wants to fight. And I'm really surprised we didn't get to see more of the Viper Tejo post plant fees in the previous half. Sharper now head again. Team Secret going for yet another force buy, considering that they're down quite a few rounds here. This is such a brazen approach. I don't know if I agree with it exactly either.
You know, the last time we watched Team Secret Academy play was with Applix. I'm wondering why the change in roster this week. Could it be the reason why the pacing has changed for the team?
I mean, that could affect it too. I mean, different configurations can have a butterfly effect on the rest of the team. And regardless of if this Viper is a comfort pick on this map or if they were tailoring a specific strategy to it, I'm not entirely sure if we can say that Team Secret have had good rounds because of it. Sure, we had that Viper spit round. Sure, Vanessa has been getting a decent amount of frags too, but it can't can't be helped that we're thinking maybe if they maybe even played like a Clove or something, it could be a different story. But here we go.
Rushed up over here, knows exactly what the members are. The perfect paranoia to set up Sharper Esports for success. Completely demolishing the entirety of Team Secret Academy.
Oh, man.
Finesse left all alone here. Could try and get at least some exit frags. Maybe make it a little bit more expensive. Take away some guns. Not gonna be the easiest here. We talked about this first buy round in this situation, especially with the Stinger. Have to be a little bit more closer when it comes to these shots as well. One shot to the head is all it needs to take down Viness as well. So another flawless. And this force buys, I have to say, I'm not a big fan of it.
I completely agree with that. I mean, you're already down so many rounds. Plus, you're kind of forcing yourself to play for the long game here because if anything, Team Secret want to tie this up. They want to get the lead back. But with the way it's been going, they could potentially call for an overtime setup as early as now if we get to that. And Sharper, once again, they go for weapons that can scale pretty decently well if they remain intact for this round and the next. Team Secret, they go for a pretty spread out approach. Most of their players are unsupported here. They are somewhat gambling on this 3-stack to A, but now they're moving, they're shifting. They want to bolster the rest of the map. I don't know how long Vanessa is going to survive this exchange.
Especially with a Sheriff, right? I mean, we've seen those insane shots. I mean, those 2 headshots!
Cage 3.
He does that. Could have happened, but QQ got the rest about Sharper Esports. They're always quick to have these streets. They have a nice buddy system going around.
Drone going out.
Again, it's just how they've been playing their numbers. It's been trade on trade, and sometimes when you can't get the more complex things going, the best thing to do is just to have trades going. You know, one-to-ones, they're completely fine. Just play the basics of the game. But now another post-plant situation here with a rolling thunder.
Oh,
Nizzy.
man. Look at the nice setup of the corner. Prodigy sharp as ever. Pops the head of Sirapop. The same could be said about NDG here. The big hero from last week tries to make something, anything happen. The door should eventually close, prolonging his life for the time being here. But the space has been taken away here bit by bit from Team Secret Academy. Prodigy's not done, as LBY should fall to him as well here. NDG just buying so much time as Prodigy. He's just trying to take up any advantage that he can here. Swinging, moving around. QQ Dot finds 1, 2. They try to go for defuse here. QQ Dot, the smoke will dissipate. He will try and force it. Jump shot 2 in the face. One more at a time, but unfortunately for QQ God, the time is just not on his side. The right click's not hitting. But he still manages to steal away with a 4.
Oh my goodness. Team Secret Academy, they limp to the finish line, and now they've gotten themselves yet another chance to keep going. Again, their economy, Tash, is just really keeping me worried the more I look at it. But with the way that round unfolded, with the classic just not agreeing with QQ God, there is a lifeline, there is a heartbeat, and it doesn't time. It's gonna be another aggressive set for Team Secret.
Team Secret has moments of really huge comebacks. I'm really hoping that now is going to be the time here. Prove me wrong. I would love to see that run they had last week against Alter Ego again. Sharper Esports, a wrench in their plans here. Waiting out those smokes, the snake bite as well. They're looking to rush forward here. The flash down as well as a special delivery means NDG should fall quickly. Vanessa is still very much around as well as Kadum should quickly take off his head.
Oh, I thought for sure that Snakebite was going to do a little bit more damage here, but Sharper, they remain mostly intact. They have 4 Vandals to their name and still quite a healthy arsenal in terms of utility. Kadum is still going to be ready to fight if the situation calls for it, but with the scan actually missing majority of these rotating players, wonder how Sharper is going to deal with it. They will burn a lot of utility on the side of Team Secret though.
Oh, Nizzy. I don't know. He knows there's someone in the backside here. Nizzy to find 1 at least to Nifty 2 fall. Nice trades all around the clock here, but at the same time, it is still a 2-on-1. Smokes are down at the very least. He is kind of separated away from the smokes. Can isolate these fights. Try to. But Sipra Pop was already waiting for him to jump up.
Still waiting for Team Secret to really combo NDG with Viness. I mean, the post plan on both sides really should be a lot of denial, right? And I feel like maybe we need to see a little bit more value coming out from this KO because, again, Suppress is just so powerful in the right hands. That's the reason why KO is never really a bad pick on a lot of these maps. Sure, he might not be a priority, but you can't go wrong with a robot.
Good way to say this. You know, rushing out forward as well. I was looking at the stats just now for Sikra. I felt like it didn't really feel like he was putting in a lot of his util wasn't really going going crazy. It was mostly AWOL if you ask me. I think maybe because every time he throws in his paranoia, the rest of Sharper Esports are wise to give up that space, or maybe the rest of his team is just a little bit more slow on the uptake when it comes to reacting off that paranoia as well. Again, they're also anti-flashes. You also have crossfires as well. It's really hard to find value when you're constantly, your head's constantly popped off when you are trying to swing off that util as well. So they gotta find a way to make sure that this util is used effectively, in my opinion.
Yeah, and you'd think with a util heavy lineup, Sharper should have a hard time walking into Team Secret. But that's really just not been the case, These flashes haven't been able to stop Sharper's advance regardless if it was on a retake or defending a site. I would honestly feel that Team Secret are having a little bit of a stylistic clash with their own comp right now, because the way that they've been moving around the map is that they want to fight. They want to be reactive utility versus proactive utility. And Sharper, I think they can smell the blood in the water where this disconnect is happening. And they've been using their utility to almost T. These breach stuns have been great. Theorpop has been pretty strong with just his Teho in general, as well as QQ God. We've seen so much value out of that paranoia.
I think the biggest problem for Team Secret right now is that their execution is just too predictable. You come in to see immediately is going to be a flash alongside a, salvos to the backside. And immediately what QQ God does is just swing off and challenge the first contact play coming into the area as well. And I think because of that, it just really catches the rest of Team Secret off guard. You're not expecting them to really fight. Kadum already suppressed, caught out by the 0 point here. Diffie should find a timing here. No! NDG, sharp as ever. This is the guy. This is the guy that we were talking about when it comes to popping hits. Rolling Thunder will be used as well to give Sharper Esports a bit of space onto that site. But the rest of Team Secret Academy, they went home. Knock, knock, who's there? We're wiping all the way in backside. Kadum takes full advantage of the situation, runs away from the flash, forced to reposition away. There's so much util used as well. But QQ got his utility just too good. Prodigy cannot do anything with that Bucky. Sprays abound as well. Holds down Drop with his life. Just a one-man army against the rest of Team Secret Academy. And NDG left alone, forced to save.
He's one away from that Armageddon and might actually want to go for this. QQ God is decently low. Kadum doesn't have the best situation in terms of armor either, but
pretty he is. They line up for him! And he dwindles down the numbers. Suddenly it looks a lot more manageable. Strap up very low LPY. One pump hit is all he needs. The numbers are good. The stun keeps him away in time. Not on his side. And unfortunately for him, fortunately for him, he's able to bring his rifle to the next round.
That was such an insane play by Kadum, by the way. I can't believe he got that frag essentially for free when he was fighting his way upwards towards rope in heaven. Because now they understand that Team Secret want to be a bit more diligent with their utility. But with that being said, they're going to have a lot more wind-up because now everybody has to set it up. They have to align all their flashes and whatnot. Despite NDG having a flash of brilliance there at the end, I just can't, believe that it just looks so disjointed for Team Secret again. Sharper, super well read on their part. QQ God doing damage as always, but they are really cutting this close.
Caught one.
Oh, that's so interesting. Yes, Niffy takes a lot of damage from the initial skirmish, but Sharper Esports understanding that this eco rounds means it's gonna be aggression coming in, especially on this, I always say, on this match point for them as well. Pop goes aggressive here. Nizzy, all he does is just wait, understanding the fact that Sharper Esports love to take up space, love to be a little bit more aggressive, especially in these post-plant situations. And as their teammate fall, they're just gonna wait up a little bit more. Knows exactly one player is rushing up forward here. It's gonna be a crunch.
In Secret, they have a bit of a window here.
Suppressed as well. You got playing right beside the smokes. Does not understanding that one player has already breached tree side area, but Sharper Esports, they answer back. The same can be said about Team Secret Academy. NDG goes massive this time around with 3. Positioning has been massive. You can always count on this particular guy to just drag you a little bit further into the distance.
Pretty much what's been happening. And he's not too far from his Armageddon again. I think he burned one already, right? If my memory is once again not failing me. But this time, if we talk about ultimates, Sharper has 4 of them now. They could pretty much brute force their way onto this. But at the same time, their calling has been great. Aside from just like these early calls to hang back when they assume Team Secret is gonna refuse the guessing game again. Or it'd be the late round calls. They've just been on top. Team Secret, they have been fighting though.
4 ultimates to play with from Sharper Esports here. It's looking very scary for this team.
Oh, Viper's Pit. It's also pretty close. So if ever they get into the spot where they need to buy themselves space, that's definitely going to be one of those luxuries that they would love to have. But Viness still has to collect an orb or a kill for this to work. And look at this. We see a lurking Neffy here towards Rebel. He could get one here if the peak isn't timed well.
It's still NDG though.
No way, right?
It's here.
All right.
Oh man, that's his due diligence and gets punished for it. Timing is definitely Nifty's enemy here. A jump peek forward. They know exactly where Kadum is as well, so that's at least some information gained.
Grenade is lying.
But the wall should buy them a bit of time as well. Salvos all the way to the backside just really throw off the rest of Team Secret Academy. But Sharper Esports understanding that they have managed to pull away these rotations means that another side should be completely open.
Oh, this is so smart. This could actually catch Secret if he doesn't TP out. And he does. He
30
does buy
seconds
himself
left.
some safety, but look at QQ God. He's looking to clean up.
He already heard the jump peaks coming in for Secret as well. He's gonna try and play the smoke criminal here.
Oh, no way,
Gonna try and
right?
challenge direction that phone. That's the perfect flash for Team Secret Academy. Sprays! Reading QQ God's play like a book. The Annihilation will be used here. Kadum's position very aggressive in these corners. Viness should be called forward as well. Nice swing forward. Means that Kadum should also fall as well. And we start to see this nice little, I would say, buddy system come up here. All the members coming up forward. 1, 2, 3, and 4. LBY finds 2, leaving Serapop alone here, forced to clutch. Parji low. The jump shot forward here. The rush to really end the round and just prolong Team Secret here will come forward. I have to say, for Team Secret Academy, maybe being in a position where you're pressured a bit more makes them thrive.
Oh. Although I'm still seeing like some of these questionable pushes here. I'm really looking at Nizzy's utility. Why does he still have 2 flashes? Because I would have been really upset if they get mowed down by LBY here. And they nearly did. But once again, it is going to be a slight reprieve for Team Secret to survive for this long. Sharper, they can't choke now. Again, playing from ahead is a skill that I always like to reinforce.
You know what's interesting? Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah.
Oh, you want me to go? Okay, I'll go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say, for Sharper, it felt like the after match point happened, you could tell that what's going through her mind is that we gotta end it, we gotta end it, we gotta go fast, fast, fast. And it felt like Team Secret Academy knew that this was going to be the mindset. All they had to do was just wait and see what's gonna happen. Yeah, Sharper Esports has some really smart plays, but sometimes those aggressive pushes toward, I would say, Hogs, back hall C, or even on the way up into CT side of A side means that they get punished for it. And I feel like they are just losing these gun battles in a 1v2 or 1v3. I would love to see Sharper Esports play a little bit more with a little bit more dedication like they did in the first previous rounds.
I agree completely. I was just about to say that maybe it is kind of getting to their heads where, oh, we're right here. We have to do everything X and Y this manner, when realistically all they have to do is just play the same way. It's already gotten them this far. Why change it up? And Team Secret, they're pouncing on the fact that, yes, they are getting a little antsy.
No way.
And with Secret getting that one, I don't know about this one, Tosh.
LBY here, just now we only saw one lone rifle in the hands of Sharper Esports, already being transferred over to Serapop's hands. LBY did a great job of trading over with just that Sheriff as well. So C suddenly is a no-go zone. Granted that Viness has been phenomenal in being that Viper in the pit. It's just so hard to find.
Well, 1-to-1s in favor of the attackers 90% of the time. I feel like they could somewhat force the issue here, especially towards C, but they go for the stack towards A. There's still a minute left in the round too, so maybe there's gonna be a lot of conditioning to happen. But with the drone to scan them out, this might just reshuffle both sides' intentions.
Exactly where you are.
And with the Neural Theft popping for Nifty, finally we see that. It might just be enough for Sharper to confidently waltz into B.
Oh, man.
Dear.
They read Nidzi perfectly, and the paranoia means that QQ tries to go a little bit more aggressive. Numbers dwindle, advantage
30
in Sharper
seconds
Esports' hands. They have 2 rifles already, 2 Vandals to play with. Sharper in the corner knows exactly where Team Secret Academy are. The salvos should buy a bit of time. They've managed to just sidestep away from it. But the rest of Sharper Esports here, Nizvi could go huge. LBY, that Aftershock manages by NDG. Prodigy at least trades back, but no clue where the other members are. Goes to go for that defuse, but the Rolling Thunder will be used, keeps him off that spike. Forced to see where the crosshairs are coming from as Niffy pops one head down to Viness, all alone, flashed out. The only thing he has in his hand is just the Foxy Orb. Moved away because of the salvos. No idea where to look. Noise have been made. They're just toying with him at this point.
Man.
And finally, the misery has ended. A 13-7.
Of his mobility, because there has been a shift of like how people have been wanting to approach this, right? You know, for the longest time, it's been we need a lot of verticality and a lot of speed. But with the Yoru really coming into the limelight, there's been a lot more like pinch plays and just off rhythm plays for especially against the defending team.
Yeah.
This time around, Sharper do have the luxury of starting on arguably the stronger side on split.
Yeah. Understandably so. I mean, interesting enough, I feel like Yoru can give so much value. Technically, it's an initiator duelist, right? He's not gonna be speed. It's gonna be fast. It's not gonna be entry. That flash that he can set up for himself and even his team could give so much value as well. As this time around, Prodigy has no clue where to look as well. They can hear the footsteps already. QQ got in a very, very precarious position, but his teammate is there to trade out if he wants to. Gets the first shot onto the head, onto Prodigy as well. The cage should give a bit of space to work with. In fact, sees the chose of Nizzy!
I like the attempt. I thought that was really smart by Nizzy. They'll never see me in this one wave. I just jump around, but yeah, there was just not enough space and maybe room for him to work.
Yeah.
I do like this deadlock pick though. I think this is such a powerful pick on this map. But execution is something that we've been asking for on the side of Team Secret Academy. Hopefully it does show itself on this map because it looks like this attack is already hobbled.
No clue where to go, decide to pivot off mid area, and there always is going to be a roadblock here. Immediately breaks that trip, and the reaction coming in from Sharper Esports, just wait and see here. They are smoked off at the very least, but they have 2 players on the A side itself here. There is a jail, get off jail free card as well for Kadum if he wants to use it.
Ooh.
Here we go,
Zero
instant reaction for Zero Pop and the Kadum as well. It's a tag team coming around here in the corner. 10 seconds to go. They have to plan, but you can't! There's no space that can be taken away here from the players of Sharper Esports!
What? Is this a meme I am missing?
Oh no,
I'm trying to Google what you just said. Okay. What is the lore of pale? What does that even mean?
Honestly, I have no clue. Maybe it means faster.
What do you mean you don't know?
My friend says it.
Okay, cool. We'll leave it at that, I guess. This is, you know, fun fact. Speaking of friends, this is the map where Asarai was talking about Raze, and he followed it up with like shout out to all the queens out there, and I was just so taken aback. It's like, why would you even say that? Like, huh? But anyway.
Oh, they're still playing this corner. Look at that nice crossfire, like a little pizza cutter coming in from 3 different angles. A flash setup as well. Throw another one forward as well. Tries to buy a bit of time with the special delivery, but you can't. Kadum's on a rampage with the Guardian right now. Sprays abound, cannot go anywhere. Has controlled the spike as well as the orb. Vanessa all alone.
Oh man, this is not a situation you'd want to be in, but at the very least, he could try to go for an exit. He's done some damage on QQ God, but essentially this round is done. And again, Sharper, their mastery of this map, just aside from that corner remaining unchecked, remaining uninvested into just yet, they've been really getting the mileage out of that one, because there's just really no way that Team Secret is gonna pop all their utility to clear that one corner. And plus Kadum could probably just gate crash out if he really chose to do that. But gun round now on the side of Team Secret. Their third rounds have not been that impressive because they were going for forces. They go for a more textbook route now. and they've allowed themselves to be a bit more competitive, hopefully, for this round. See how they approach this, though. They go for pretty B-leaning default, but now they're pivoting and trying to get some space towards mid. Sharper, they have a drone coming out.
Drone is
Not gonna
down.
lie, every time the drone comes out from Sirapop, it's like the hardest thing to shoot. Man's got moves with that.
I know this default has already burned so much time, by the way, on this default by Team Secret. They've been a little bit more careful. But an exchange here between Vanessa and Sirafop will leave both of these players injured. Sirafop doesn't look like he's gonna stop his march, though. They still want to wrestle map control away, and Team Secret, they're going for yet another ropes-oriented attack towards A. Oh, but no, they default back. Uh-oh.
Oh wow. Look at the immediate reaction, which is to throw in util. A stun alongside the salvos, which means that there's a lot of util use, gives an idea where every player is, but as soon as they come here, it's the aftershock that keeps them at bay. The rest of the team as well forced to move back, but LBY in this corner should find a little bit more value. No, it doesn't, because Prodigy has bought a lot of time. The movement is just insane. QQ got here on main. Does not know someone is coming in from garage side. He's ready for it though. Gets to
No way.
somehow. All he had to do was just crouch forward, but
10
NDG
seconds
Viness
left.
gets a few more to their name. Niffy is all alone here.
Spike planted.
Granted, Viness and Prodigy very low. A bit of a sneeze is all they need here. But the corner played to perfection as Team Secret Academy, they do get this buy round.
Acceptable round on the side of Sharper. They've done so much damage, not just to the economy, but to the players as well. It did look like they were about to bounce back onto that round touch, but again, the firepower discrepancy and just the unfortunate whiff by LBY
Enemy remain.
just could not help this effort to pull that round back. But again, it did look really confusing at first for Team Secret because it looked like they weren't entirely sure how they would want to approach the map, but they managed to get a pretty good salvage play coming back from mid and from ropes. Going into a B heaven take. Now, they could be met with aggression here.
The immediate flash, but a crossfire sent up from Team Secret Academy gives them so much value. The same could be said about LBY here. Not sure how he managed to run away with that pickoff with that aftershock as well. Probably used to stop the rest of Team Secret Academy, from rushing onto that site. But unfortunately for Viness, his position was just off.
Over there.
I like that bait play by Team Secret. Really smart to have a player anti-flash and just punish Sharper for their aggression. Sharper might just be a little bit more hesitant to do something like that. It is going to be yet another free site for Secret, but the question has been, how can they stay, Tash? They've been doing this since the last map where they get a pretty uncontested plant, but the post plant has been pretty sketchy at best.
Oh man, talk about sketchy here. Wall banged to death by QQ God. Finds him in the corner. Stressor Sharper Esports here playing, holding hands together. Try to come in from main. Smoke set up as well as splashes as well to see if anyone's in this corner. Does their job to make sure that no one is close. One more time, another fault line to make sure that no one comes close to this corners there. The corner that Prodigy is holding will not be found. Finds a bit more value, leaving Nizzy here 33 HP, limping. But NDG is there. You know the value of that NDG brings forward here. Headshots abound as well. Tries to get a little bit more value from those headshots. Makes it expensive. Round taken away, but it's still a round on the board for Team Secret Academy.
2-2's pretty good on split. Niffy has been pretty sharp. It's been so hard to play into him. He's been an absolute brick wall. If there's anything that Team Secret has been pretty good at, it's been avoiding him for a majority of Lotus, but there have been rounds where it's been Niffy the Terminator. Sadly, it did not convert into anything in that previous round, and now we are on an eco on the side of Sharper. If my mind, or not my mind, sorry, if my memory serves me correctly again, their eco rate was pretty high in the previous round, Tash.
There.
It was.
Actually, for both teams.
There was what, 2 thrifties each, if I'm not wrong?
Yeah, and they were pretty impressive thrifties too. So maybe we'll just see that come to life as he does remove that trap, but it will spring the rest of the team into action.
I mean, they did try to set up Kadoom for success there onto mid-side air. They had the flashes, they had the salvos. But unfortunately for him, he's not able to land those shots. Again, coming back to those basics, right? You gotta land those shots. Not able to capitalize, losing a head this early. They do still have at least one rifle to Nippy. Trying to put in a bit of chip damage there, and he does. But not enough to take the members of Team Secret Academy down.
They've slowed the pace down, and now they've actually put a lot of damage onto Prodigy here, so he might hesitate using that overdrive if the situation arises. He does have an outlaw. Harper, they still have that Vandal intact too. So this could be the X factor that they're looking to leverage off. Look at this flank though.
30
Look at what
seconds
Prodigy is. Oh.
Nice off angle to play with. Oh, what a shot. Completely just taking advantage of Prodigy. And he's
Spike
not
planted.
done. Has somewhat of a semblance of idea where the members of Team Secret Academy are. Be able to clear out close there. And they do get suppressed at the very least. But not before they did manage to set down that smoke. Blind shots abound, clearing out those corners as well. A lot of util used, taking a lot of damage. Kiki God somehow survives. Not for the time being, at the very least. Slowing the pace down here. LBY, his position known. The rest of the two members onto Heaven's Side cannot peek as well. All they want to do is try and make sure that the rest of Team Secret Academy members can at least get pickoffs. Smoked off as well. NDG coming up close here at the very least. Vinesse just sprays. Sirapop trying to find a way to find any exit cracks. Won't be able to. So just gonna be able to go down to the spike.
Oh, still pretty expensive on the side of Team Secret here, but they do get the round lead. For the first time in the series, they'll have Overdrive, Armageddon, and Annihilation intact. So they now have a lot of picking power. Even if they choose the more indirect route. Sharper, I like that initial play towards mid. It was a really good play call in my opinion, but just could not get anything going with the lesser weaponry. Kadum this time chooses to play with the operator. Now, knowing Yoru's kit, he should be all over the map regardless of what weapon he has, and that's already maximum value.
Beautifully played there by Kadum. He's always the first one to fall in the last few rounds, but this time around he's changed the trajectory of that, changing the story of how he should go. Just have some idea where Team Secret Academy are, but the salvos will be completely ignored by Prodigy for the time being. Blind sprays through smokes once again, but this time around is Sicker is able to come up on top.
A lot of quiet now. Still waiting for any extra confirm to really spring the rest of the team into action. A little bit more worried about the flank. They know Sharper is a team that likes to get active, but Sharper, they're just waiting in the wings here. Sirapop could have a high multi-frag potential here. Never mind.
No, Prodigy, I gotta admire his, his reaction time here. Prodigy with the overdrive, they managed to fish one player out as well, which is gonna be Kadum. Prodigy, once he's on a rampage, he just keeps going here at 5 HP. Doesn't matter to him as well. As QQ got left alone, 1v3 could easily take out Prodigy here.
Spike planted.
But his crossfire and his choke to play with is going to be incredibly hard to deal with. One crosses out, immediately he turns around, knows that Nizzy is going to be either main or close. The paranoia should give him a bit of space here, and he swings one more time. Sicker, some shots up forward here. Still, gonna try and buy and try. Rushes up, isolates these angles and these fights, and he does just that. Unfortunately for him, despite the isolation, the whiffs are the reason that he's not going to be able to move forward. And Team Secret Academy, they show us what they've cooked here on Split.
Ooh, Split's looking really good for TS. Meanwhile, Sharper losing a lot of these individual duels. Now, perhaps they're cooling off from such an explosive performance on the first map. And as we've said, it's really just those ultimates too, giving those freebies on the side of TS, giving Sharper a bit of a headache to deal with. They go for a timeout. I like this timeout. It's apt to go for it now. It does look like they're... Yeah, I think their defense is gonna shift a little bit, and they might just run a few different sets here regarding the tempo and maybe how they just want to play this, because it feels like they're really giving up so much mid control after that initial hit, and it's kind of snowballed into like, okay, now we have to pay attention to ropes, even if Sacred is still going for a really full send towards the side itself. But hey, if a team can adjust, it should be Sharper.
No, it's kind of funny, right? I mean, I sort of had an inkling that this might be happening on map 2. I mean, granted, the fact that, Team Secret Academy does take some time to warm up. I think when you look at track records, they did manage to maybe steal away a map. This has always been happening as well. But I'm liking what I'm seeing here. 4 in a row. After them getting that buy round, immediately come close here. For Sharper Esports right now, we talked so much about what Thailand has to offer on this map, and I think that Team Secret Academy has done their due diligence to figure out what exactly made Thailand tick on this map. QQ God here will risk TP straight, unfortunately for him, into the net. At the very least, his teammates give a little bit more space with that flash, deters the rest of Team Secret Academy from rushing up forward here. One more flash forward, and Secret waiting for him to just swing out the smokes. Read like a book.
Perhaps a bit of a desperation player on the side of Sharper that was really unsupported by the rest of the team. Maybe Kadum wanted to crawl up, but the timing just didn't allow them to do so. Granted, it is an eco, so there is room to experiment. You see Sharper occupy the space towards mid and maybe sewer. Team Secret, they're a little worried about it, so they will use that barrier mesh to burn some time here. Sharper maybe just leaving the responsibility of staying alive to both Kadum and Niffy, but this could be a really, really big ask from them.
Where to go? Walls up forward as well. Team Secret making so much noise, and Niffy just reacts off that information. Quick headshot to the face, but the rest of the shots not really landing on the rest of Team Secret Academy. As Sharper Esports, all they're doing right now is just waiting down those walls, and the rest of Sharper Esports here, despite the annihilation, you have the dimensional drift to give a lot of information, pinging all around right now, breaking the trips as well. They get the plant, they turn off the site as well. The plant does happen, but it's still another 4 more members of Sharper Esports to deal with. Finesse sprays, and his positioning will be moved away because of the salvos, and Kadum just waiting with open arms, his head blown to smithereens.
That's 2 rifles. They can pick it up and make it. They could make this round doable, but they have to do it now. Oh, drone gets spotted though by Secret, and now Team Secret, they're still in a pretty good spot to take this round.
Headshots about as well. We know how powerful the headshots come through here from NDG. One more to worry about. He runs away with 3. Another round to Team Secret Academy. Granted, that was an eco, but Team Secret, they'll take what they can get. This is a huge lead.
It is a huge lead, especially on the attacking side. Sharper is going on. I really like that barrier mesh, just to delay that flank here. And if that wasn't in place, Tash, I think this round could have been a disaster, especially after Niffy sharp shooting. But then we have to remember that was an eco. It was considerably expensive on the side of Team Secret, but it's not really hurting their economy so far. They do have a Viper Spit, which has converted into a lot of great rounds. And hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. They still look to fight their way towards A, but there's just a lot more utility supporting the defense on the site.
The reaction back from the camera taken out is to send out a drone to give a little bit of an idea, but Finesse was there, so the only person that is spotted out is just that one load Viper. Trying to just stop that immediate rush onto the side here. Niffy, he's done his due diligence, always spraying to the smokes, always find his beautiful body shots. The same could be said about Finesse, walking out to Heaven's Sight, catching Kadum off guard.
Toxins going up.
Oh, defense is looking to slowly unravel here, but Rifle still very, very strong on the side of Sharper. Still no rotation on the side of QQ God, and he doesn't even have From the Shadows available. But look at this. Maybe they're setting up a trap. Maybe they're intentionally letting them cross into CT. But once again, this is putting a lot of weight on the shoulders of Niffy to stay alive and just kind of dance around the site.
30 seconds left.
They have to go in, they have to do something now. 30 seconds to go. Gonna clear out Niffy from the backside as well. He still runs away with 2! As they try to get onto the side here, before Secret does find him in the end. A big advantage taken away by Nizzy, evening out the odds. A 2-on-2. 11 seconds to go. But he's just gonna try and grit his teeth and plant it down, and he does. Finds Nizzy in the end as he goes away from those smokes. 26 HP to work with. They've heard the footsteps initially, but no clue where 2 of the members are.
Oh,
out in the open here, the smokes dissipates. The timing is good for Sirapop as well. And Sharper Esports, they finally grit their teeth and find a round to put into their pocket.
Nifty is such a dangerous player. I know we've been singing praise about him for like the last 10 minutes or so, maybe even longer. But to survive in that situation for that long, especially with the amount of utility being thrown in his face, is already commendable. And it really was the linchpin to Sharper's success. Now, Team Secret, I'm curious to see if they're gonna go for a similar hit towards A when the play call, I feel like, was still pretty good. It's really now they just have to adjust if they want to focus all their attention towards site and leave out heaven control, or maybe just situate themselves to fully clearing heaven and then going into a numbers game towards the site itself. No, they default. They decide to run a different set, this time towards B.
His position's noted. He has no util as well. But despite all of this, Team Secret Academy looking not to challenge. Nice angle from Kaduma as well. Onto Ramen, they peek, they fall. I think they suspect he's gonna be there with an op, maybe.
Portal closed.
Oh man, the X-ray is really teasing us right now. Because at any given moment, they could swing into Kadum.
Just waiting for the right time. Anyone pushes up, he has a shorty in hand as well. LBY is here to receive at the time for the time being as well. Makes a lot of noise. The stun should buy a bit more time, but Kadum cannot react. Forced to gate cash away.
Really smart by Kadum just to value his life over the angle.
Rolling Thunder as well.
This could be massive.
But Prodigy, you really gotta give it to this guy. Aggressive plays, challenges the util. Good for one before traded out. The Secret will get a bit of an upgrade here, but Sirapop not done. He's the gatekeeper for the site, but will eventually fall. NDG.
30
That's what he does
seconds
best. Multi-fragging here. A nifty swing could be massive. No. Secret and Nizzy ready to wait, awaiting for the last few members of Sharper Esports. Knows exactly how they play this to a T. Both teams are so well prepped and drilled on their own maps.
Oh, Sharper, we're feeling this defense not really having a concrete answer for Team Secret's dynamic attack now. Because, again, it was just repeatedly going onto A and just kind of going for that war of attrition. There were a few fancy shots landing on the side of Sharper, but Team Secret ultimately winning this out, and with the superior ultimate economy, with the extra addition of a very, very solid economy to play with. This should be another handy round for Team Secret if Sharper choose to go for this overextension, especially with Viness getting two.
Ridiculous. You know this guy can aim, and he does just that. Who's gonna be the next victim to him? LBY steps up to the plate, and he can't.
Right.
No one can. It's like giving a free ace, honestly. Nifty good for one, tries to go for one more, not happening at all. As Team Secret Academy just happy to run away with this eco or anti-eco.
Gotta go.
Oh, Viper's Pit, very available here, and we did talk about how Viness can be as a player. He's a little bit of a microwave, you know. Once he gets going, it is just hot streak after hot streak.
One enemy remaining.
And that's even like off the back of some of these gun rounds too. Nifty nearly gets two there, Tosh. And it feels like Sharper are now just refusing to guess. They want to go for like, okay, let's have an aggressive play towards X point in the map and then kind of play off of that, rotate maybe. They do have a lot of rotating power, so I don't necessarily see anything wrong with it. But Team Secret have been dividing and conquering so well. They're even so wary of that spot on the right side of QQ God. But QQ God playing even wilder off angle here. Prodigy so patient. They now know that they were kind of lacking in the utility department in the previous map. Seems like that's not a problem here.
The reaction is just really moving. It was a very dangerous play right now. Kadum trades at the very least for Prodigy, but they're not done yet. Nice high-low setup as well. Util found around here. But Sirapop's off angle should find dividends, knowing there's gonna be one lurk in the mid side.
Ooh, that actually sprout to anything. Team Secret's still interested in B. It's been rehit after rehit. Tash and Nizzy scope down to any would-be peekers.
A lot of silence coming through here as Team Secret Academy can tell that there's a lot of question marks on their mind. In fact, it's going to be a re-hit. They managed to pull away the rest of the members of Sharper Esports from the site itself. They have the post-plant setups as well. They have the smokes. They have a lot of time to work with as well. This plant is not going to happen for so long here. They're stunned with the salvos just keeping them at bay. Unfortunate for them as well. They chose wrong. It's the clone that they shot. And yet they do get it here. Circa tries to go a bit more aggressive, take out too much space, and he is supposed to. But you should find a lot of good events here from the corner. NDG was ready and waiting for him to get out of the dimensional drift. And Sharper Esports once again rise from the ashes. At least make it competitive.
LBY coming into the game now a bit more present, really bolstering Sharper just a little bit more. Maybe that's what they were missing in these previous rounds, Tash. After all, LBY was the MVP in that previous map. I mean, we're not necessarily asking him to carry like majority of the load, but when he's contributing, the rest of Sharper really does pop off as well. And like you said, if they can get an extra round here, then this could be a little bit more competitive. Team Secret, though, they're not gonna let that go so easily.
Fought with only... never mind, he's trying to change to a Guardian instead. You do have two ults to work with here, Kadum. Aggressive, quick flick to the left, and Prodigy just demolished to smithereens. The rest of Team Secret Academy, they're not backing down here. Takes full control of ramps.
Oh, come on,
He actually just challenges it, gets scanned. The reaction back is to just buy a bit more time and space with the smokes, with the aftershock.
Team Secret's been doing such a good job of peeling away at this defensive utility too, but LBY would be once again the linchpin.
Marking him.
They are. Drone.
Spots him. Let's look at that initial just wide swing, catches LBY off guard here. Sharpa wants to do the same here. Beautiful headshot. He wants to do it again.
Ew. That's gross.
Yes. It really was. They have Armageddon to work with. They decide to, from the shadows to come online as well, immediately broken, so they have a bit more idea where the other members of Team Secret Academy are. Jump
This is a
from
clean...
I was so sure he was going to shoot his ankle there.
30 seconds
There's a
left.
good old-fashioned 4v3, Tash, but Sharper, they have a good position.
Oh, look at these trades coming out forward here. Kadum is here. Unfortunately for him, we whips. Quick to just reposition, quick to flash as well, but the rest of Team Secret Academy know how to stay away from these corners. Playing side by side. Kadum's not done though. They challenge him in the salvos and completely pincert the rest of Team Secret Academy. It's gonna be a 7-5 half.
I was about to say that this side, rather despite Team Secret peeling away at a lot of this like layered utility on the side of Sharper, Sharper adjusted by leaving Seraphop's utility to be used last, and that really slowed down this attack despite the Armageddon being pushed into place here. Secret had no choice but to take that fight, and as well as these round even quicker because this map has slowed down quite a bit. It is not the same escapade as Lotus where it has been brawl upon brawl. Both teams have engaged in cerebral combat. Sharper look to slow it down. They do burn a little bit of utility here just to push Nizzy back, but I know this barrier mesh and that noise alarm is going to be a problem.
It really will be. Now, for the rest of the team, this is where things get interesting, right? You have the Kadum with the Yoru to just be able to just run amok, especially on a dimensional drift. He can even just make so much noise from your teammates, just TP into the backside, just catch everyone off guard. We've seen that happen so many times the previous week as well. But doesn't have to do that as well as Kadum finds one. That TP, that gate crash, was honestly a bit odd, if you ask me.
It really was. I mean, a little confused on what the objective was there, but both duelists have now fallen. Team Secret a little bit more confident in this double smoke hold towards heaven. Well, once this wall pops up, it could be an extra layer of defense, but they have no idea. Sharper have penetrated this defense.
All the way to CT side as well as Nifty, quick to find Sicker. Not done yet. Here's all the sounds of footsteps. Oh no, Nizzy! Caught off guard. Weapon in hand. No, was a knife. You know what, the rest of Sharper Esports try to walk around like they own the site, but Vinesse is disallowing that from happening here. 10 seconds to go here. They need a plan right now, but no clue where Vinesse is. What to do here when you have one player just guarded completely off the site. Nifty, 3 seconds, no time to plan. That is it.
Wow. I think that's all I can really say.
So confused as to what happened there. Sharper Esports had all the space and time to plant. What?
They walk in and died. I think that's what happened. Again, they had a clear body advantage here, so I think what me and Tasha are trying to say is that maybe, just maybe, they could have
One enemy remaining.
timed their peaks better. I understand the confidence in the pistol rounds, but man, Viness is just
What
animal.
a goat. Oh, you said
Well-
animal, I said goat. It's the same thing.
goats are animals.
No, honestly, he isolated our fights to perfection. Those blind
True.
sprays through the smokes were just so well read. This guy is insane. What can I say?
It's also coming down to like those last few seconds of your allotted time to plan, and maybe panic was setting in for Sharper, which is also a reminder that it can happen to even the best of the teams here. You know, nobody's really immune to the jitters and the shakes. It did not necessarily bear the most fruit, but right
I
now,
just want to say that Deadlock was popularized from China, from our coach from Malaysia, Fade. Shout out to you, my goat.
oh, Coach Fade getting a shout out.
Yeah. Love the guy. First Malaysian to Toronto. Proud of him. Anyway, coming into here, Kadum walking out forward here. Gonna challenge, knowing where exactly the area of the salvos come from. What the heck is that? Right clicks to the face from Sirapop. Fades away. 1 for 1.
I like that strat. I like that
The
strat a
fadeaway.
lot. I'm honestly like surprised that that did not go worse for Sharper. They managed to get NDG, which has been a key player for Team Secret these last two maps. Nizzy in his god spot could shred the entirety of Sharper,
Ew.
but of course I had to say it. You know what I mean?
His corner to perfection. Remember, Viness owns A side, but this time around he's shoot off here. And if he gets an upgrade, gets the plant.
Spike planted.
Prodigy shot forward. Here's that judge doing dividends. The relay bolt does catch one member off guard, but the flash should keep it at bay for the time being. LBY ready and waiting. Secret for 2. Sprays the heck out of members of Sharper Esports here with QQ God with only 4 HP to play with. A miracle
God, he
play,
doesn't know.
maybe.
One
He
enemy
does. The timing
remaining.
is good to find one. Could change up his weapon. Paranoia sent out here, but Viness, he doesn't care. He doesn't defuse. But his HP is too low, and all Viness has to do is just throw out one singular bullet to take the round away from Sharper Esports. But I have to say, that was a very, very close round.
Way too close for comfort there. And Sharper, surprisingly,
Planted.
I thought for sure they could have gotten that round, because it did feel like despite the weapon disadvantage, they had really, really good position. Especially with like QQ God maybe trying to gamble with that Spectre. I thought for sure they'd maybe play the smoke and maybe spam into it, because it's not like Viness had the best armor in the world too. But hey, now it doesn't necessarily hurt the economy both sides here. We have a few Guardian upgrades across the board.
Who's got the right mark here, actually, if you think about it. And Prodigy decides to challenge here. Here's the sounds coming in from Mail. Sirapao as well, making a lot of noise in exchange. NDG's position, they don't check him. I don't think they're gonna do that. Spots out 1, goes for 2, and he does!
Spike
For finally
down
taken
mid.
out, that's a lot of damage done already just by a singular Guardian.
Sharper looking to be a little blunted yet again. And it is because of NDG. And because of the volume that he's been getting, this Armageddon has really been so present. This time, it's Sharper having to take a guess if there's somebody playing this poisonous off angle. QQ God, who's been fantastic, just might not be so lucky.
Nah. His side is his side, is Vanessa's side
One
here.
enemy
Timing is
remaining.
good here for Sicker. Just waiting for that push out as well. A nice shot to the face. No! Sirapop not allowing himself to
30
be
seconds
too
left.
out in the open to be get hit by those shells. 1v3. Tall order here. Get the plant, you plant safe. Can isolate the fights, maybe walk around the site. Behind elbow. Team Secret Academy finding the right timing, the right angle as well. Throws out that net. Now he can't move here. Where to go? Util in hand. Throws out the salvos. But double peek forward here gives him only 1. But despite the fact that Secret had almost a very rough start to the match, he is so present here on Split.
The firepower on Team Secret Academy has just been so impressive. And, you know, we talked about Sharper being the team, or rather one of the teams that you don't necessarily want to take these straight up fights because Niffy and really just the rest of the squad is,
One enemy
no pun intended, but sharp. They're all just so mechanically inclined, even at the pro level, even at the tier 2 level, right? But Secret, Vanessa has been getting a lot of these important multi-kills, and when they do decide to go full contact, it's just been winning in their favor. It's been going in their favor. Now, I know they've been trying this in the last map, and Lotus just really did not allow that. Despite everything, though, Sharper is still trying to keep this as competitive as possible. They're adjusting as well as they can. They have been experimenting with a lot of these, like, different utility setups. They've been investing a little bit more towards mid. But so far, Team Secret have just been hanging back and letting the round play out to, oh, hey, if we have to fight, we'll do it. If we don't, then might as well let the utility fly.
Looking at the snacks in their background. Looks so good. I wonder what
Are there
Thai
any
snacks
snacks? Yeah, I was gonna ask, like...
What are you gonna ask?
No, I was gonna ask you, like, are there any snacks you'd recommend to not just me, but to the audience as well?
I don't know about snacks though, but Mama Noodles on top.
I don't think I've tried that.
Oh, you should.
Mama Noodle.
Mama Noodles. So good.
We're not
Get a Tom
sponsored,
Yum
by
flavor.
the way, but
Not sponsored, by the way. Just a hungry girl. Speed is the name of the game here. Gets that information, spots one out, immediately cashes away. In fact, their drone does manage to tag into Prodigy. But despite everything, they cannot really follow up on that information. They don't have the guns. They don't have the firepower right now.
They definitely don't have that immediate brute force that they would want to try to enforce on this site. But hey, we've seen a lot of crazy eco rounds going the way.
Oh, disgusting. No, not like this. But you know what? The same could be said about Sharper Esports there. Guardian and the Sheriff kill one each. Prodigy.
Oh.
Sharp as ever. Great. Playing on these micro angles. Niffy
Oh no.
gets walled off there. Nizzy. Oh, I'm getting confused between these two.
Last
Trade
player
off these
standing.
utils here. Is Sharpa trying to wallbang the heck out of Prodigy? All Prodigy does is just swing out forward, get a headshot, fade away, reposition. Can't do anything here. Granted, Niffy is sharp as heck, but Cred's not his side here.
30 seconds left.
30 seconds to go, making a beeline to B, or are you going to save?
I mean, either way would work. The economy's not super good though on the side of Sharper, but if they can get this free plant down, then it's definitely a decent consolation prize. There is a trap
10
here, I
seconds
believe.
left.
Yep.
Oh, it's gonna be enough to maybe allow the rest of the team to walk into this. I wouldn't be surprised if he just fully backs out and let the defuse happen. He already has gotten his extra credits and maybe his ore, but hey, it does look like he wants to
No.
fight this out.
Plays the back corner, sees all three. Art to isolate fights in this
What?
particular place. So,
Uh,
TS is just gonna get their 11. I was really expecting like a 1v3 isolated fights, shoot to the face.
Spike's dead. You're welcome.
yeah. I mean, like we said, right? These players have the capacity to do that, but it was the classic of all things to finish him off too. Just made the whole thing incredibly anticlimactic. But I gotta say, Team Secret is looking so good on this map. I feel like they're inspiring a lot of their fans, and myself included, to maybe make a comeback on Pearl. But I doubt, or not doubt, but I don't think Pearl is a map that you would want to full contact a lot. It's just not the map for it. But hey, I think I'm getting ahead of myself too much. I think I might be counting out Sharper on this map when realistically they can still come back. Difficult, but they still can.
I mean, as they say, it's not over till Raph stops jinxing.
All right, buddy.
Sorry, Raph, it's been a while.
All right. There's no way Secret is gonna 1v3 here, right?
Okay, here we go.
Off your feet!
Quick to find Prodigy. The paranoia, you have the trips, you have also there's aftershocks coming up forward. A lot of util dumps here just to keep them at bay. Seraphim immediately taken out here. Same could be said.
Wow.
Vinez somehow managing to survive this couple. The Doom forced out the open because of the Armageddon, and TS runs away with the match point, and once again it's Raph with the
Match
jinx.
point.
Why is the... What did I do? I said
Don't
there's
count
no
Sharper
way.
Esports.
I'm not counting them out. I mean, it's impossible for us to go into overtime now, right? I mean, especially with like all the utility available to Sharper. They just have to be a bit more careful of how NDG is gonna situate himself with these with the judge, because I think, you know, how we think about Tejo is he can be a bit of a backline menace, but it's also so valid to just kind of sandwich players with your shotgun and your utility, but he does get scouted out. I think Sharper might have a good grip on this round, but if not, then Team Secret have potentially found a way into the series.
Go ahead.
It's out of the dimensional drift and immediately finds NDG. We'll love to see what happened there, but you also saw the Armageddon come online as well as they get the plant down. A different look here from Sharper Esports, a bit more quiet. It's Vanessa looking to find and catch them in the act flank side. Parji can't really go, a lot of noise made, even the trip activated. It's making a lot of noise here. So check the corner, nice crossfire as well between them two. Hard to find. Look at that trade of utility here, left, right, and center. Spargy, quick to find. Serapong is the one more to worry about. Take some space. Spargy's not done. Still one more to worry about. Kadoom, he prolongs the fight. 6 more points to go to catch up to Team Secret Academy. And that is a very, very long climb.
They have to play this to perfection. They have no margin for error now. And Kadoom on top of the scoreboard alongside Prodigy with identical stats, by the way. I think that's really funny because there's so many rounds too where they're both the first to fall. But anyway, getting sidetracked a little bit here. Team Secret, they have been quite passive on the defense and it's been working out. They have been enforcing the slow burn, especially with the deadlock, but they go for a really traditional 2-1-2. Both controllers leaning towards V, so the delay power here is going to be insane. Doom still pretty much equipped with everything he has. Could maybe pull some attention here. They have been desperately trying to establish a lurk threat on the side of Nifi, but it just hasn't panned out. There hasn't been any leaks on this Team Secret defense, and it's been incredibly oppressive. At least this defense has been on Sharper.
Team Secret Academy has a lot of space, a lot of hole into mid-side area as well. So it's really hard for, you know, Sharper Esports to really pivot around if one area goes wrong as well. Here's the sound sensor as well from Nizzy. Timing wasn't really that right here. Forced to move away because of the graph net. Sends out a decoy to rush up forward. Gets rid of the sound sensor at the very least. Breaks it. And now smoked out. As soon as he walks out, Secret just shoots his face. All that noise, all for nothing here. And Vanessa positions themselves in the smoke. No clue where to go here. They rush up forward here. Good for one. Nifty trades. But the damage done in 1v3. Not gonna be the easiest as well. No clue where to look. As X has a spike. Caged off here as well. But all he needs is just an overdrive. And just like that, a 13-6.
To play against Team Secret Academy, which has shown their fangs in the previous map. I think I agree with Vanessa going onto the Vice because it can be a bit more of a proactive agent. You do have like a lot of your traps where you just kind of leave and it'll do its own thing. At the same time, you have to value your life here because despite Vice on paper, I feel like she's not that oppressive and impressive, but in practice, she is so hard to deal with simply because of all that displacement. Sheer, honestly, despite it just being a wall, burns up so much time and will obviously alert the rest of your team if it's used as an anti-flank, but Sharper ready to brawl on this first round.
Oh my god! Team Secret was not expecting the aggressive push coming out of Sharper Esports as well. Granted, Busy does trade, but it's still a 2-for-1 in favor of Sharper Esports here. Nizzy will at least check those corners, finds nothing quite yet here, and both these teams will just let it simmer down. Now, I'm looking at the stats right now here. The wall for NDG will be activated for mid-side area, so they have a bit more control as soon as the wall comes down.
A lot of movement going towards Alley here, and we were hyping up the potential of Vice to throw a wrench in anybody's plans here, but I don't think Nifi has an idea. Or actually, it's Vanessa being caught with his with his guard down.
But through the smokes as well, you have Lippy rushing up forward, NDG to fall. Immediate trades around from both teams here. And now it's down to 1v1. Sorry, 1v2. LB1 QQ guard there, going for the longest rotations of their lives. One coming down from I believe it was like is from CT side. I think they're gonna be meeting here. Gonna play from long. They have util to work with as well.
I cannot.
It's not planted for long at the very least, so they do have to still push through. Footsteps noted. Nizzy can isolate fights. He can just go for these 1v1s. Staying alone here in the back of Hall side area. Did get noted as well. They know where he is as soon as he moves. They get the plants here. QQ God will be playing a first contact. Protects his teammates. And they will run away with another pistol for this series.
Alrighty then. I feel like I want to highlight this Sova pick because I know there was a time where every single map had a Sova. Almost every single map had a Sova or a reliable info gather. With the whole breach coming into play a bit more often than really any other initiator combo, there really is a lack of reliable info because sure you have drone, but then you have one drone. Unlike Sova where Recon Dart is a refreshing ability, plus you have your own owl drone.
Sites. But you know, I did really fail to really take into consideration about like how they would fare on their own map picks. It's been phenomenal. It's been fairly clean. And they like to play off to their strengths. It's just your aim power.
And at the end of the day, if you can shoot your way out of your problems, then why not, right? But we are just talking about how reliable this option is for a lot of our teams because, again, eventually when they do make it to the top, if they do make it to the top, it's not just going to be about shooting.
Oh man, Nizzy with that first contact play, but Niffy with the hold. Art fully in his control. QQ God has not been moved off his area inside of Dugout at all. So he's gonna be able to catch Finesse off guard here, leaving NDG alone. They break it, so they know exactly where he is. A nice off angle to play this. Spray into smokes. He's so low right now. Tries to steal away again. Can't do just that. So, Sharper Esports gonna take another round here. Team Secret. Next round should be there by around. This is where things get a little bit more interesting.
I also thought that like those 4 spies in the first map really were unwarranted. Like why are we forcing so often, guys? What was the whole like philosophy of all these 4 spies, right? I mean, granted they were doing a little bit of damage, but in the long game it just didn't amount to anything. And I'm glad that now on the 3rd map
My goat.
I lost my train of thought there, but you know what? We're out here. Oh.
Ooh, love that contact play coming in from Kadum with that outlaw in hand, a jump peek forward as well. But as the smoke will be taken away, it gives him a bit more space to work with, but he doesn't want to be too predictable. Well, hit it one more time, moving in tandem with the Arc Rose. Leave Secret solo. Gonna try to at least get that chart, that wall up.
Like I said, Sheer just buys so much time. It's just, oh, I see a line on the floor. Help.
Yeah.
Please come forward with me, guys. Let's jump over it or something, but we have to do it together.
1, 2, 3, run, guys.
Yump. LBY.
Oh, this could be good. They're just side by side separated by just a wooden box.
There's no way.
Oh, that time.
Okay.
No, they didn't move. Why am I getting excited about these things? Anyway.
Oh no.
With
He thinks
Niffy
art is clear.
Yep, very, very close as well. Gonna try to rush forward here. The timing is good here. An immediate push there as well. Util dumps all about. He's just dodging every single one of them. Where to look, where to move. Wall bangs around, and LBY shots being true here. Finds a wall bang onto Sicker as Niffy finds one more. A flawless bonus conversion from Sharper Esports there. I am surprised that all of them remained intact.
Maybe Sharper should just ban Split. I don't know. Because now this is suddenly like the Sharper top form Sharper. You know what I mean? Instead of the shaky Sharper we saw on Split earlier. Granted, that was, I believe, the first Split game of this Split. Of Split 2. So maybe they just haven't been practicing that map. Maybe they haven't been able to, you know, deposit the scrim bucks. Either way, Team Secret now hobbling once again with this shaky buy They could still do damage with these sheriffs.
Lights out.
Kadum just walking up here, that Outlaw finding dividends, knowing that it's going to be weak shields from the other team here. Team Secret Academy, I mean, they do have the Armageddon to play with, but they need to dwindle down the numbers.
Ooh, that they are. And with the weaker weapons, they have to bunch up or land crazy shots. But Sharp are being very conservative right now. They're just occupying all these important rotation points or key points. And Team Secret, they're a little smothered. You see Kadum push
I got the
up
spike.
and just not allow any guesswork here. They do pick up the spike and are looking to commit towards A, but the Razor Vine still very much in play here. Plus, QQ God being a menace here in this one and done position potentially.
There we go, Armageddon shown as well. Immediately, as soon as someone tries to entry into the site, it's just a meat grinder all around. And they use Armageddon for that.
Oh,
Looking from bad to
That's-
worse.
that's unfortunate. I think we've always had these opinions on, do we use the ultimates as a bit of a band-aid solution? Or do we use them in conjunction with our better buy?
My ult's ready.
And they had an idea,
Flawless.
but again, Tash, Pearl, execution. Okay, no
Yeah.
memes this time? Okay.
He didn't say tung 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 sahur. He didn't drop the Katarina Cappuccina.
There's so many
what
of
can
those
I
things,
say?
by the way. Like, I googled it and I'm like, what? The list has expanded exponentially.
Okay, let's talk a bit more about, like, you know, what's going on here for Team Secret Academy.
Oh yeah, that's
What do
pretty
you
important.
think, yeah, has been the problem here? What do you think they need to talk about with Coach RBTX?
See, this is the same issue that they were kind of facing. I feel like they have the idea of, okay, guys, we know that we're a high-powered team. We know that we can win in these situations where all we have to do is run into the opposite team. But that has to be executed with a little bit more finesse. Where are the flashes again? Where are the smokes to potentially cut off, you know, some of these sight lines? Now, granted, I do believe Team Secret lost their flashes earlier, so that had to be a full contact hit, but now they might just actually make it objective number 1 to dissect all these defensive utilities and put it away from Sharper's field, because that's exactly why they want to win. They peeled away all these layers, but now Kadum gets one pick. Team Secret not already in a bit of a shaky spot.
QQ hasn't moved at all from the initial hold there onto Secret side. For dugout, excuse me. Just still playing the default area, default side. And I'm surprised that for that push up toward long on B, you know, he's done it for like 2 rounds already. I'm surprised that Team Secret was not expecting that quite yet.
That too, it's like, what is the process of gathering info for Team Secret? How is Sharper so ahead of them, especially when they go for like all these super hard reads? Does Team Secret still have a limited playbook, or are they just running into this unsupported?
Spike down mid.
A lot of
One
crossfires
enemy
as well.
remaining.
Look at all these layers and layers coming in from Link side, from that corner, from even, you know, B itself. You think that, okay, we're gonna try and execute
30
from Art,
seconds left.
same thing. Coming in from B Link, same thing. It's hard to really discern how Sharper Esports is playing off this, because their reaction time and how they play has been phenomenal. Look at this 3-way hold. Nizzy was hoping that he's able to take away 1. Can't do that at all.
Maybe Sharper is just really good at deducing where Team Secret is gonna move next. I mean, like we said, right? They're really just not doing anything too crazy here. Sure, they get that early operator pick, but everything else has been incredibly steady.
Spike down mid.
They're like, okay, guys,
One
well,
enemy.
we're not getting any noise from Art. Scouting reports say there's nothing really rumbling towards, you know, any extremities
win.
towards A. So now they go for that quick pincer action towards B. And once again, Team Secret scratching their heads here. I would not be surprised if they burnt another timeout here. They go for another force. Ooh, I don't know about this one, but they will be still running into that smoke plus Razor Vine combo that's been pretty much lethal to them, or have been lethal to them.
Power advice. Immediately so much stalling power as well. LB White looking to take a little bit more space. shoots that gate crash so he can't move forward either. Now they're trying to execute here. With the fast lane up online as well means that Kadum cannot see anything, but he has a shorty in hand! Cat just brought it off guard! Secret Finesse one each, but shut down by QQ God. The Steel Garden comes online as well, takes away their guns, so Team Secret Academy once again. Another wrench into their plans, but NDG, he has other things in mind here. Decides to push toward Artfriend Syrup up.
Oh, Nifty and QQ still very much alive though.
Player standing.
Oh, right click to the face here. Finesse gets an up in hand, and it's a Thrifty from Team Secret Academy. Honestly, what is up with this team and Thrifties, because they are phenomenal in these rounds.
Exactly, and maybe the layered slow approach is not something that they've mastered, because when they do go to these fights with just a full head of steam, looks so convincing.
Player
But
standing.
again, how often are you allowed to do that? Before they adjust, before maybe the shear could come through, because imagine if there was a shear there for Sharper. Imagine if there was a little bit more utility. But if we have to go back on split and how Secret did win majority of their attack, it was because they changed their rhythm up. It was because they enforced a lot of these re-hits. They take away and all these like emplacements and just go for it. And now another heavy-handed approach towards B. They will peel away at those initial pieces of utility as I mentioned. So now Sharper are forced to front it. Mano a mano.
Secret with that first come through onto the site as well. The dimensional drift gives them a lot of space to work with, picking around, but the same can be said about Kadum as well. Hunter's Fury, this is perfect. Using your ult to really direct where the Hunter's Fury should go is decent. Gets a tag onto Secret at the very least. Only him though.
Planted.
Gets out of dimensional drift. Gonna send out one, but Nizzy with an up. Disgusting shot finds Kadum, immediately taking him out here. Prodigy as well cannot hold. They come through, but quick trades all around here from both teams as well. Still 3v3 despite everything. The Cosmic Divide keeps the rest of Team Secret Academy at bay. The Secret decides to push out here. He's sharp as heck, completely collapsing onto Sharper Esports as soon as they set foot onto the site. And Team Secret Academy, they're looking to snowball.
Maybe that's just it, you know, don't overcomplicate the game plan. Get all those annoying things out of the way and just start shooting. Sharper will respond in kind with a timeout for themselves. And I'm curious to see what adjustments they're going to make now. Are they going to rotate that Vice? Or at least are they going to assist that Vice a little bit more with the Astra? I think the Astra pick too. One thing that I really appreciate about Astra is just the sheer range of her abilities. That you can play her as a dominant or really a predominant like a rotator, but still have so much value everywhere else. But then your Astra has to go with like such a gigantic mental stack on top of trying to be sharp in these aim duels.
So real. No. Just curious what they have in mind here, how to play this as well, because it felt like every single defense that, you know, that worked earlier completely broken down by Team Secret Academy. And I think this is one of the awesome things that I've seen from Team Secret Academy, because once they figured out that Rubik's Cube, they just sort of just do the same thing over and over again. Maybe they'll have adjustments here and there, but it's so hard to really figure them out. It takes them a few. And I think that this timeout is great because they want to break the momentum early. They don't want to let this, I would say, this league go way too far like it did into split just now.
Absolutely, and I feel like it is something that does plague the tier 2 scene just a little bit, you know, especially with how finite the adjustments can be. And it does really separate some of our premier teams and some of the teams that are still trying to make a name for themselves. It's just the speed of how they adjust, how they can get into a different mindset, into a different like attacking or a defending set. In Team Secret, they're anticipating a full-on aggressive push here towards A, but this is just not the case for Sharper. Sharper's still pretty much replicating a lot of their older defensive sets, but this time both initiators towards mid. Maybe to scout out any would-be lurks, but no dice either.
I think the lack of information, Team Secret just playing Team Secret Academy, playing so far back, denying info, keeping away from that recon early is just great. Now this time around, Kadum has positioned himself in a very aggressive angle here. Should be able to catch one off guard, gate crash away. It is huge. Prodigy out of the way means that he's able to slow down the initial push, but the Steel Garden should be able to do just that. But the rest of Sharper Esports here wait out the Steel Guard and play a little bit more close. Shorty in hand here. But unfortunately for him, Vanessa was anticipating
30 seconds
someone
left.
inside of the smokes. So it's
Yeah.
still 1-for-1. Both teams no duelists.
And they could have used Prodigy's overdrive to maybe, just maybe, push the agenda even further. But once again, the duelist can be such a tricky role to master. Armageddon being used to burn time. Vinus, though, look at this massive
Wait,
flank.
Vanessa timing should be massive. Angles are good here from Team Secret Academy. LBY and Secret 1 each trading off each other here. Good defense to come forward here, but
Oh, they're sticking
LBY
it.
rushing up
Last
forward.
player
He's trying to stick it, but Vanessa puts a wrench in their plans. Team Secret Academy, whatever Sharper Esports tries to do, they are always one step forward.
Oh dear me, and it does look like the snowball could be too much to handle now for Sharper. Perhaps this could be a whole avalanche waiting to happen. Sharper going into some of these rounds blind, right? You mentioned how they have had the recon avoided very, very early, but we haven't really seen too much value out of the Hunter's Fury as well. It's been a pretty quiet game for LBY, and that's been true for Split as well. Now Sharper changing it up just again, putting a little bit more support towards mid, and now maybe, just maybe, going for a reverse clear on this retake.
Interesting enough, Prodigy already has the overdrive online again. A lot of pressure put in here by Team Secret Academy to be able to secure those early ult orbs.
Go ahead. Stand your ground.
It's really been the case of this map since
Getting
forever.
used. As soon as they come onto the site with the Armageddon as well, they just TP onto the side. You also have the Thorns to keep the rest of Sharper Esports at bay here. But Prodigy, he wants more space, more time, catching everyone off guard here. But Kadu's timing could be massive. They're not marking him quite yet. He'll be able to find all three. Timing to get 1, 2, gonna go for a flash. And he does just that. The option comes through, goes for
One
another
enemy
one.
remaining.
And the
Oh
other
my.
player, Nizzy, forced to rush up forward here. And it's almost like a claw trap gripping for all the sides. And Sharper Esports, finally, they figured things out. And finally, they get another point on the board.
Incredible play by Sharper to wrestle away this map control from Team Secret. So again, it's just been a lot of science going on, right? If they have been succeeding on these heavy-handed
One
attacks,
enemy.
then they're bound to be loose somewhere else. They're bound to be a little less attentive in some of their flanks. But now Team Secret, they're adding to the protocol list. Maybe they're gonna show away all these mid players, but maybe this is also gonna prompt Sharper to move somewhere else. Operator still in the hands of Kadum, looking to once again extend his dominance towards B long, but like we said, Team Secret looking to fight it out towards Art and towards mid.
Immediately, LBY does get suppressed, answers back with a bit more pressure fire, but displaced! But somehow, Prodigy gonna walk straight into
Wow.
these salvos. Interesting enough, all of these fights are happening from all around the map here, all around that A site as well, as Team Secret Academy scratching their heads. Cannot make it in from main, cannot make it in from Art. Zerpa holding down the line here, goes for 2! Can go for 1 more! That's a huge 4K for Zerpa. A flawless round, and Sharper Esports, they snowball back.
Oh, like you said, it is a Rubik's Cube, and once the puzzle has been solved, you can really see it come to life. And honestly, it's a little cathartic too to see that Sharper did exactly what we were expecting him to do. They see there's so much presence towards mid. They know that there's going to be such little resistance elsewhere on the map that they're just gonna collapse on it. Yuki got even reading that little play by Vinet, that position with double doors, and even QQ got. There was so much confidence. It's like, okay, there's gonna be a lot of players towards this portion of the map. I'm gonna risk the 1v1 here. But thankfully for him, that just didn't happen. So now Sharper didn't have to guess where Team Secret is going, and potentially the same action could happen. Look, they give up the site, maybe even momentarily, to encompass this attacking team.
One of the Thorns already online as well, and Kadumi's gonna try again. A lot of noise made here. He's gonna just run into 4 maybe. He's looking the wrong way here, buddy. All the way out there in the open.
want
You
to
don't have
fight
gate
it.
crash this time. A lot of questions.
Oh my gosh.
But he challenges.
That's
And he
wild.
gets away with it one last time. That's crazy. Overdrive online here, but they were all ready for it in the meat grinder. That was one of the fastest rounds we've
Last round
seen
before the switch.
here in stage 2. Because what on earth was that? You have one player out there in the open and Team Secret Academy just walking, marching into the meat grinder.
Oof. Keep secret. They're feeling the effects of this adjustment, so now they go for, I believe, their final pause of the half, if I'm not mistaken. And you know, this is just another problem for younger teams. They just simply need the guidance, and that's exactly why there's a support staff, right? Because sometimes a lot of these heads-up calls, especially in officials, just don't appear like writing on the wall for the younger teams. And this is exactly why they went for the timeout. I'm not entirely sure if NDG is all that vocal, despite his experience. But again, I'm not entirely sure on that one. But either way, they might just have to rely on him to, you know, make those adjustments mid-round and do a little bit of IGLing.
You know what I like about NDG the most?
What?
His webcam placement. What a forehead.
It's because he uses his mind to play Valorant.
Exactly. He doesn't have to show his face, just gotta show his mind, right?
Alrighty then.
Shout out to you. This is what you get for calling me Tita Tash.
Oh my
All
goodness.
missiles away.
Tita Tash.
Drone
Apparently
going
it's
out.
called T-Tash now.
Either way, last round of the half. And then-
Wait, what happened there? Oh, it's an insane aggression coming in from Team Secret Academy. Good opening for that, but the aggression should be stopped here. And Zerapop, as soon as he tries to clear the corner, Nizzy was waiting for him. Micro angles around.
Oh, still Niffy all alone here. I think he knows where NDG is, and that the sheer amount of
No.
confidence this guy has is insane. Uh-oh.
Steel Garden online as well means the rest of the team have no guns. They try to splash him out. The Arc Rose Dagger in the end, counter flashes abound as well. Where to lock a shorty in the hands of Seeker. You take away the rifle fight. I bring out the shorty. I take away the space here, which grants him access to the dimensional drift. They know exactly where LBY is. He's marking his position. They get the plant as well. Footsteps heard as well. Wall bangs. Try to find someone on the boxes. Finds nothing. Kiki got a great opening shot there coming in from the off as well. All out of short darts. Marking the position of LBY here. Still 2v2. Kiki kind of swapped over weapons. Trying to play against the op. Here's the sounds of footsteps. Goes in the smokes. Takes quite a bit of damage there. Decides to move away. Crouch aside here. He's read them like a book right now. They want to try to push forward here. Finds
No way,
one
right?
to his name. But shorty in hand here, which means that Seeker should run away with another point.
Ah, that
Give
feels
this
so
man any
sick.
weapon.
Sides.
He makes it work.
That he did. Great stuff here by Team Secret to get a few more rounds under their belt to make the second half just a little bit more competitive. Nippy had so much to say in this round, though. It did look a little precarious for our boys in black and white, I believe. Me too. I'm actually quite hungry. And I could say the same for Team Secret. They want to at least get like a 50% win rate, right? Whereas Sharper want to maintain their perfect record. So different teams, different stakes. A lot of
Different
utility
goals.
being thrown out too.
Time to jump.
Kadum has been insanely proactive when it comes to this B-long area, whether it be on defense or actually attack this time around.
Here.
Gonna try and activate that shear wall. He should have make that tag out Seek a screen as well. You have Niffy in the midst of this rotation here. Timing could be good, but NDG is marking art.
Again, they're taking a completely different approach to this map. Team Secret, they are spread out, but they do have some
is Barchi.
available trades. Oh,
Ooh,
Oh, well.
they were ready for him. Kadum, this is incredible. Rushing up, shooting hits. That's what he does best here. It's very methodical if you think about it. But NDG hoping to see someone across him. Oh, that
30 seconds left.
went into the hole in the wall there.
Spike
He's been
planted.
finds Niffy at the very least here. He's not done quite yet. Goes for one more, but LBY, that's a
Last player
classic,
standing.
homie. Save could be set for Kadum. That is a ghost. It's not done. No clue where the other member is. Secret gonna slowly go into the side here. They do check him. Good for one. The other 3 members still too much to work with. So many layers to this hold and defense. Crossfires as well. LBY. Nice little strafe and all he needs.
This pistol has just not been so good for Team Secret. If
That's
I'm
both pistols secured for Pearl, I believe, for Sharper Esports.
Yeah, and I think overall in the series, the pistols have just been, aside from that one Viness round, I think, has been going in the way to the Thai squad. And despite a lot of these fights being completely isolated, Sharper's still finding an upper hand on these situations. But once again, Team Secret going for the force buy here. They want to try and operate with a really aggressive approach, but I genuinely think Pearl is one of the worst maps to force like stingers on, just because of the range disadvantage.
Here.
Especially when you're trying to like maybe fight it out towards B long. But they are doing the correct thing here by being a little bit more passive and playing off those Razor Vines if they do pop. Kadum could be the first donator of a Vandal if that were to happen. But look at this too. Sharper's already aware that Team Secret have a pretty high tendency of forcing a buy on a losing round.
His team is trying their best to bring
Please, just they don't want to give away the Vandal noise yet.
Closed. Cutting through.
No, they really don't. Smoke will dissipate. Refreshed one more time here. I'm not sure what was close. Going to clear out behind screens here, but a swing out from Viness means that every single thing they tried will fall. But Sirapop moving the next one to be able to hold on to this Vandal. A lot of sprays to come through, hoping to wallbang, find something, anyone from behind those smokes. But Team Secret Academy knows this. Gonna play a little bit more far back.
30
Put
seconds
in
left.
more util as well to buy a bit more time. 30 seconds to go here. There's not a lot you can play with. They have to pale right now. The recon dart finds him in the end. Secret to only find one. At the very least, there's still Prodigy.
Last player
It's a bit of chip
standing.
damage here. Tries his best to point some headshots. QQ God is low. They might just line up for him here. The plant has come through here. But Sirapop with that Vandal in hand does secure that round win. So I believe this is another round as well. Double digits for Sharper Esports. And this will be that bonus.
I really want to understand why they keep going for these force buys. If it's just sheer confidence in their aim, sure. But the fact that they're down 6 rounds and still doing this just boggles my mind, because now you have the double eco. And you don't want Sharper to hit 11. You don't want them to be close to match point. Unless you're so sure of having a bulletproof plan to get back into this game. But right now, Team Secret looking to be a bit more aggressive towards double doors. But Viness, I doubt that he knows that there's an outlaw peeking towards him, just asking him to swing.
Blocking vision.
Nothing's seen quite yet. Team Secret Academy just trying to deny that information. At least does know where the position of Viness is. So the mid-side area does get deterred just a little bit from Sharper Esports. Just really go forward as well. Immediately gonna try and get that. Wow, Nifty with that Bulldog. Quick by Viness, already marking so early right now, but a double swing is coming in from Art.
Here.
Should be able to steal away one gun.
Doesn't look like it though. They're still pulling back and they wanna bolster down the site instead of reinvesting into getting a lone rifle. If anything though, Nizzy has taken quite a little bit of damage here. This range could play into the hands of TS.
Oh man. Quick trades from
30
all around here.
seconds
LBY as well to find another.
Player standing.
The dinks are good here.
Jeez.
LBY goes massive with just a ghost in hand. Wasn't able to reload his outlaw. So all around here, that's another round on the board here for Sharper Esports. Just gonna be able to just top up here. Rifle round finally from Team Secret Academy.
The fact that they can't like find the backline too is just so worrying for Team Secret, because again, I think they wanna just be like a super front-facing team, but realistically, LBY has just been getting so much value, not just from his fragging, but also from the scans and the threat of the shock dart, denying a plant, maybe the drone here and there too. Kadum has been putting so much pressure by being so fearless on some of these peaks, and he's only been punished like once or twice for it. Team Secret perhaps in a doldrum with 4 rounds to their name, looking to find some sort of like reprieve here, some sort of saving grace on this defensive end. But Sharper, they know that they're ahead. They're not rushing into anything, and they are once again clearing this map as safely as possible. And NDG actually reacting to that.
Gotta come close here. If they don't check button, it's gonna be dangerous here. Active is a sheer wall. Nizzy does go and check to see if something's happening. Jump shots abound, and Kadoom immediately punished. Nizzy is low from the initial result of that skirmish.
Locating targets.
Kadoom, like we said, fearless on these early contacts. Finally gets another slap on his wrist. In 4v5, Team Secret should have a healthy time on this defense, but Nizzy once again has taken a little bit of damage now.
Arco's done, anti-flashed as well. But Sharper Esports, once again, that double swing, buddy system, whatever you want to call these layers and layers in how they play means that they can always secure these, I would say, these holds, these retakes. Secret to fall. Nizzy, with only 26 HP left, waiting for NDG to come close as well. They're not together. They're not close at all. Can't play off each other here. Yeah.
One down.
If he caught off guard, makes it more respectable 2v2. Flash out of these angles! What the heck is that, LBY? A quick turnaround! Reaction times incredible! We talked about how LBY is having a more quiet map. No, no, no! He heard us from far away. I'm not quiet at all.
LBY is kind of like the Tim Duncan of Sharper, you know? Like, oh, he's top of the scoreboard. It's such a... I think it's quiet, but it's a deceptive quiet, you know? It's legitimately why a ComC can be so scary at times when there's no win, when there's nothing. But
Oh my god.
once again, Team Secret finding themselves in a dangerous situation. They're all but surrendering this map to Sharper.
Oh no. You could tell that Sharper Esports wants this. Speed is the name of the game? Not really. It's just these long-range shots. The Team Secret Academy hoped they would be able to challenge Sharper Esports for on this B-long site. Checks the smokes, checks the angles. Dimensional drift online means that they have more space to work with. Marking where Prodigy is. You have the Cosmic Divide. You have the Hunter's Fury online. You also have the Armageddon Circle, allowing Prodigy to go even more aggressive. Kadoom, a lot of space in the backside and sprays! Sharper Esports show dominance, bouncing back harder than ever from that disappointing split.